it's probably going to take years. As a matter of fact, they use the word many in front of the word years, many years, to return to that under 4% unemployment rate that we had in February. And part of that because nobody knows, not Trump, not Jesus Christ, nobody knows what this new economy is going to look like. Even if progress is made on a vaccine for this coronavirus, if testing becomes available for either the virus itself or antibodies or treatment, none of that matters, because what has happened as a result of this massive shutdown has caused just about everybody who has a brain to take a look at where we were and how little it took to fucking destroy it. How little it took. That's the part that continues to just shock the hell out of me. And I'm not a dummy. I may not be a stable genius who knows good words, but I'm not a dummy. And even to me, it was a shock to really be confronted with the reality of how unstable this capitalist economy is here in the United States in the year 2020, how fragile it is, and how little it takes to just smash it to the ground and leave nothing but rubble. And the rubble, of course, are us, people. Now, Trump, because he's a lying piece of shit, in a Fox interview last Friday, a week ago, said there would be a quick rebound. Yeah, just like he said, hey, there's only one case and it's from China. Everything's going to be okay. Trump, in that interview with the Fox sewer, said, quote, those jobs will be back and they'll be back very soon. In your fucking dreams, Mr. Jerkwad. But Biden, the other day, said in remarks in a broadcast by an online agency called Now This News, Biden said the jobs report illustrated, quote, an economic disaster that was made worse by Trump's slow and uneven response to the crisis earlier this year. Now, he didn't say Trump, he said the White House. Come on, Joe, for fuck's sake. If you see a snake crawling across the ground, you don't say, look at that crawling thing. You call it a fucking snake, or that slithering thing. Now, despite all this news about the fucked labor market, the stock market rose today. This afternoon, I'm not sure how it closed out, but this afternoon it was up nearly 300 points. How about that? And the stocks have been climbing since early April, largely because of record levels of government aid for businesses and optimism, whether it is blind faith or based on science, optimism that a cure is at hand, just around the corner, tomorrow morning. It's coming, I promise. However, during the Great Recession of 2008, let us remember that Wall Street, the money fuckers, the top 1%, the hedge fund operators, the people who don't give a goddamn if you or your mama or your baby live or die, they couldn't fucking care less. They care about one thing. Show me the profit. And if it means gutting your company and destroying your job, hey, come on, this is the land of free and home of the brave. But like in that last recession, it was Wall Street that recovered long before the economy, the rest of the country, started to show improvement, started to show signs of life. It was a long period of time. But that's the way it works in a capitalist society. Dear heart, that's the way it is designed to work. honest to God, if we average Americans learn anything about this fucking disaster, other than the sciencey part, other than the disease part, other than the transmittability of the disease, other than all of that, if we learned anything about the economy of this country, maybe it's going to smash us in the fucking face how we have been fooled, A, and B, fooling ourselves for decades. I wonder if people are going to wake up to what we have been living in since about 1970, 65. Of course, we've been living in it since forever. And some of us have really fucking been living in it to the point where some of us, we don't live as long. We are more prone to cardiovascular diseases. Our recent ancestors lived in slavery. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? Of course you do. Our black brothers and sisters have been dealing with this for fucking ever. Let's go back to maybe, what's the year, 1619? What is that, 350 years? No, more than that. Oh, I don't know. However long it's been. Ask one of your black friends, how long has it been since people in your community have felt left out? That's so ridiculous to me to bring that up. What the fuck do I know, right? I've got black listeners who, some will say, yeah, Malloy, you got it. I got other black listeners who say, what the fuck are you talking about, white man? Okay, I get it, okay? But I do get it. So when we talk about Wall Street in the last recession recovering long before the rest of the economy did, let's make sure that we understand that the rest of the economy for so many of us has not recovered, will never recover. It is designed not to recover, if by recover we mean an equal opportunity for wages, for job improvement, for a better level of life. None of that is going to happen for millions of us because capitalism will not allow it. You can hear these son of a bitches now. What was it I told you the other day? Some of these Republicans are screaming and screeching and their little asses are tightening up because some people now are getting more on this emergency unemployment than they were making shoveling shit in a restaurant or hauling literal shit, cleaning up buildings after work. Come on. We're going to go back to that? I hope not. I hope not. The chief economist at something called Stifel, I don't know what it is, but this guy said, quote, "This is pretty scary. I'm fearful many of these jobs are not going to come back, and we are going to have an unemployment rate well into 2021 of nearly 10%. His name is Lindsay Pigza. I'm sorry, it's Piegza. I don't know, Pigza. Lindsay, take it from a podcaster here out in the foothills of the North Georgia mountains. You are as full of shit as a Christmas goose. You think that, you said well into 2021. Okay, what does that mean? A year? Well, certainly not a year from now. A year and a half from now? How about October, November of 2021 when you know the Christmas season begins again and we all go celebrate the birth of the baby Jesus by spending every fucking thing we have and going into debt for stuff we don't have, money we don't have, right? I mean, is that what you're talking about, Mr. Lindsay, whatever your last name is? Yeah, I'm in a bad mood. It just seems to me that there are rational, scientific, sensible, logical ways to fight this horror that has occurred, and we're not doing it. because there are 330 million of us, and we need leadership, and we don't have it. The piece in the Post also points out that these stark unemployment data could create even more urgency for a number of governors who are debating when to reopen part or all of their state economies. They have to balance, all right, how much death do I want? That's what Trump does. How much death do I want? So what some of them are doing are weighing the cost in human life against the economic toll that their state or this entire country is going through. But anyway, the job losses have been so large, it's unlikely that so many people, it's unlikely that so many people will be able to return to their jobs, especially with so many of these businesses now operating at partial capacity. And then you have parents wrestling with child care challenges. So Trump is so full of shit. He's full of shit about everything. He's just a fucking liar. He's not even a cheerleader. He's a con man. There's a difference between a cheerleader and a con man. Trump is a con man, a bunco artist, a thief, and a liar. And what we're looking at in this country, you know this situation has forced so many millions of Americans to turn to food banks just to get something to feed their kids. What did I talk about yesterday? 20% of children right now are suffering, I hate this term, food insecurity, which means there's nothing at home to eat. Jesus Christ. And so many people are looking, as would be reasonably expected, if we were a rational, humane society, they're looking to government for help. But this government is so fucked up. You have Mitch McConnell. You have Donald Trump. You have these bastard gangsters around Donald Trump. They are going to respond to millions of people looking to government for help? These fuckers can't even provide leadership. Help? No. Hey, Truth Seekers, Mike Malloy here. While you're sheltering in place and practicing safe social behavior, probably catching up on the Malloy cast, remember, we have a new weekly program just for our patron supporters. There are other thank you gifts for your support. Remember, visit MikeMalloy.com and click on the big patron link on the main page. You can't miss it, and we can't do without you.